All right, so now that we have this new aftermarket part, we're going to insert it. And when we installed the driver's side, there was just had to pop it on and you would hear a pop. So I wonder if it's gonna be similar here. We're gonna wanna pull this back so that we can angle it into the that connector. Although it might be a bit easier. Let's see. Sorry, let me get this. Alrighty. Actually, I might ask for my dad's help on this. Can you pull this back? And let me get this. I can't get a good angle for you guys, but you guys know what's gonna go on. Okay. And now we should turn this to see how well it spins, and it seems like it's engaging the transmission. Now we're gonna look from the bottom and see if there's any gap. If there's a gap, then we'll try to push it further. But I think it's seated. Okay, it looks like there's still a bit of a gap. All right, so the gap is right there. It's a pretty big gap, like half of an inch or maybe an inch. So I'm gonna push it in. Maybe you guys can see it coming in from the bottom as I try. How's it look? All right, so let's try taking it back out and putting it back in. All right, so I'm in a bit of a weird position. I'm kind of pulling this knuckle towards me with my thigh, and that should give it the clearance to go in straight. But it's still a bit of an uncomfortable position, so definitely recommend having another person with you as you're doing this. Okay, so my dad doesn't usually do this. I'm not sure if it's advised or not, but I've seen a lot of people, they put grease on this, like a tiny bit of grease to help it get in. I also note that I didn't do it on the driver's side, but you can if you want. I guess people probably recommend it. It's just my dad never does it. So just a tiny bit of grease would be good. Maybe I shouldn't do it with dirty gloves. Okay. Just around the outside to help it get on. Now let's try putting it in. Okay, I don't know if it was the grease or like the 10 minutes that we just spent trying to put it in, but we got it in. There's gonna be a bit of a struggle getting it in. You can try holding it, like hold, make sure that's going straight in horizontally, that there's no angle so that all your force is concentrated. But there should be like a little pop, like where it goes in. But now there's no gap. Oh my god. Okay. So now what we're going to do is finish installing. And we're going to put back everything together. Installation is the same as removal, but in reverse. So first we're going to align the CV axle back into its hole. And then after we align it, then we're going to bring the bottom knuckle back, the lower control arm back into place. So let's do that. I might have expended all my strength, but we're going to pull this knuckle back all the way, then bend this until it gets back into position. Okay, and now it's aligned. So now that it's aligned, we're going to align the ball joint with the lower control arm. This is the lower control arm, this is the ball joint right here. Okay. So for this, we're going to push down the lower control arm. It's spring loaded, so just be careful for pinch hazard. And then we're just gonna angle this back into place. You might have to push the wheel back straight. It's not easy, guys, but where there's a will, there's a way. I'm almost there. Okay, we got it back in. I don't know how my dad's gonna edit it, but that took me like 2 minutes of struggling there. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this back on. We're just reusing the old one just because, you know, always better to use original parts when you can. Maybe we can get the dent to line up again. But for the purpose of this video, we're done. Because what's next is to put the wheel back on. Oh, actually, sorry, we're not done. I need to put the I need to put these bottom 3 bolts back on. Or sorry, bottom 3 nuts. They go back on the bottom of the ball joint and the lower control arm. And they're going to be torqued to about 47 foot-pounds. But anyway, as I'm doing that, that's going to be it for this video. Because what comes next is we got to put the wheels back on and then torque the spindle nut. And when we do that, we got to take the cap off the tire. And the reason I have to put the tires back on is so that the spindle nut doesn't spin while we're tightening it. And it's a whole process. So we're gonna do a separate video for that. But as far as this replacement goes, it's pretty chill, pretty simple. So let me get my torque wrench and then I'll conclude the video. All right, so this one's annoying. I have to turn it on and let it sit there to calibrate. Okay, it's calibrated. 47 foot-pounds. And then we're going to tighten it and torque it. Okay. There we go. 47 foot-pounds. So just do that for all 3 of them, and then you're done. Whew. Okay, so I'm gonna have the video right here. Aiman, and today I showed you how to remove and replace the passenger side CV axle for a Honda Civic 2016 to 2021 10th generation, or Civic X. If you're interested, go check out my driver's side video. It's a bit longer because it's my first time doing it, but now that I'm more familiar with it, I've just done this video. So that's gonna be it. Aiman, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Look at other videos on EyeOnAiman, especially the videos on this Honda Civic and the CV axle replacement. And I'll see you in the next one. But for now, I'm Aiman, and signing out.